What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Yes, indeed. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bobbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Gareth Thomas. And Gareth wanted to see me react to this song by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard called Blame It on the Weather. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, this is ringing some bells with me, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, no surprise there. And the video has 186,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Blame It on the Weather. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
This says you can't make 7/8 groove.
The devil ain't your friend. He said
Yeah. Yeah. I have some questions. I definitely have some questions, but that was not bad. That was not bad at all. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with a tune called Blame It on the Weather. This was a request from Gareth Thomas. Okay, not a lot to discuss, but I have a couple questions, and I'm really hoping that King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard fans will help me out with this, because one of the questions in particular really, if I knew the answer, I could give a more definitive score in either direction. I'm not exactly sure what to do. I have a score, but the score has it's okay. I've settled on the score, but if I knew for sure the answer to this question, the score would go up or it would go down depending on what the answer to the question is. That's the best way to describe it. So it's not that I'm being indecisive. I have a score based on what I know and what I've observed and what I've heard. But if I had this one question answered, it would move the score guaranteed, either up or down. I don't know, depending on what the answer to this. Depending on what the answer is. But since I don't know the answer, I got to give the score I have. So let's start with the score, and we'll begin our discussion, shall we? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 7.1. Yup, 7.1. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, the 7.1. What does that mean? Well, a 7.1 would translate to a really good scale rating, because overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B letter grade. Yes, a B. B as in boy. So there you go, 7.1, really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Well, a little bit of a journey there. First of all, I need to apologize. I didn't get a chance to pause. I was gonna pause, and I was like, no, we're only a minute in. Let's let it ride out a little bit. Let's try to get to about halfway, and then I'll pause. And that's when the guitar solos kicked in. I was like, uh-oh. And by the time the guitar solos were done, there was only like a minute left. And I was like, it's pointless. Just let it run at this point. So sorry about that. I really hope this doesn't get blocked. I guess time will tell. The songwriting on this. Okay, first of all, to all the naysayers who say, oh, you can't take a song and make a groove in 7/8, you want to bet? They just did. The song had a really nice groove, established in 7/8 the entire way through. Even in that one middle section where it relied less on the 3 inside of the 7/8, and relied more on the 2 and 4 within the 7/8. It was much more straight ahead and on top. You know the section I'm talking about, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. There was that section as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, it was a lot more based around the 3, far more based around the 3 within the 7. But there was that one section where we got very straight ahead and on top of the beat. And I liked that because they never actually changed time signature. They stayed in 7/8. All they did was switch up the feel a little bit within 7/8 to give it. At first, I wasn't sure. I was like, wait a minute. Did we just switch to a straight ahead 4/4? No, we're in 7/8. Wow, all they did was change up the placement of the snare. That was so cool. It was very well done. I had to kind of tip the cap to the drummer on that one. That was very slick. The guitar playing, the bass playing, the keyboard playing all sounded nice. It sounded fine. The riff, the main riff, if I'm being honest, that was pretty simple. It was pretty simple to follow, and it never changed. It was very repetitive the entire way through. Now, Oddly enough, this is like the third reaction I've done today where that's been the case. The entire song is based on this one riff, and it never changes. It's funny how in one session of filming 8 episodes, 3 of the songs follow that same ideal. And I'm going to say the same thing that I said there. It's one-dimensional, yes. It's repetitive, yes. But there was enough happening within the song, like solo sections. It helped. It definitely helped break up the monotony, which is not, and that change up in feel, that helped break up the monotony, thankfully. I'm also going to say that this was a short song, just literally a second over the 3-minute mark. Really glad to see that. I hate to say this, but if this song had been, no pun intended here, because we're in 7/8, but if this song had been 7 or 8 minutes long, I would be, I hate to say it, I'd be pretty upset, unless they did something during the course of that 7-8 minutes that really knocked my socks off. You know, open it up for some really amazing solos, that might help. But if all they did was play that same riff over and over and over and over and over again for 7 or 8 minutes, I would be, I don't want to say what I would be, but I guarantee you it'd be the complete polar opposite of what I am right now. So, let's see, as far as vocals go, I'm not thrilled with the vocals. I'm going to be honest, folks. I'm not thrilled with what they were doing vocally, but I get it. They were having fun with it, and it worked out. I mean, here's the thing. What they were singing and how they were singing it fit within the context of the song. It did fit. It didn't stick out like a sore thumb. So they got away with it. That's all. I guess that's the best way to put it. It is a really good song. My big question is this. Is this a real song? Like, did they sit down, write this out, record it professionally? Like, is this on an album? Or is this something that they came up with on the fly and they were just jamming out to it? I don't know. I could see either answer being applied here. It sounded structured. It sounded thought out. But at the same time, there were a lot of jam qualities happening here. A lot of jam qualities. And what I mean by that is there was consistency, yes, in the vamping and in the repetitiveness. Yes, it was there. So it could have been structured, but at the same time, a lot of jams follow that same concept. And whenever they would repeat it, it wasn't always the exact same. A number of times there were some subtle differences that I picked up on, which makes me wonder if this was a jam session. Or maybe they were playing around with an idea. Like one of them came in with an idea for a riff. Hey guys, check this out. And he played it, and the rest of the band said, let's work on that a little bit. And they spent 5-10 minutes figuring out the parts. And then they all came together, and that's when filming began. Let's play it with start to finish. Let's play it one time through. Boom, and here's this video. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely had that vibe to it. The other question I have, that the effect that we heard on the vocals, it wasn't just on the vocals, it was on everything. There was a very, very slight overdrive effect that was mostly noticeable within the vocals, but it was on everything. It was on the keyboards, it was in the bass, it was on the guitars, and it was on the drums. I mean, it was literally everywhere. So did they, on mixing this video or on editing this video, did they add a slight overdrive to the audio for the purpose of effect? Possibly. That's definitely a possibility because it was consistent across every voicing. Why they would do that, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure why they would do that, other than just artistic creativity. When it comes to adding effects, sometimes less is more. You know, I think the song honestly would have been, I think it would have sat with me a little better if we didn't have that constant overdrive on everything. You know, that part didn't, between the vocals and the constant vocal effect, I wasn't 100% thrilled with the song. But I do love the fact that they wrote this entire song in 7/8, and they made a groove. They absolutely made a groove, and it was a short song, thankfully. So, yeah, I mean, overall, taking everything into account, I think it's a really good score that this deserves that 7.1. Now, if this was just a jam session and they were just having fun, you know, just trying to figure things out, gonna be honest, I probably would have raised it up a little bit. If this was an actual recorded song, studio recorded song, then I might have lowered it a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. That could have gone either way, but looking at what I was given, looking and listening to what I was given, I'm giving this a 7.1. All right. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.1, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I've spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.